Welcome, welcome. This is the F1 Flaming Tarmac 94. The Japanese Grand Prix starts tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this beautiful evening. Well, it's afternoon still, and the weather's good. I'm good. Everybody's good. And we're going to move on to the F1 weekend. It's going to be a good one. One of my favorite tracks, one of my top tracks, along with Silverstone and Spa. Very good track. I really enjoy this. And hopefully we're going to get some good racing coming into this weekend. So I'm going to bring in my co-cues. My partner in crime is Mr. Toto Hammer. Big up to Toto Hammer. Big up to you, bro. How's it going, bro? Sorry, it was a bit long. You know what? The AI thing is good, but you still got to tag him up, and it is what it is. So, look, we've got the Japanese Grand Prix coming up this weekend. Love the East Coast T-shirt, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm more of a West Coast guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we've got the Japanese Grand Prix coming up this weekend. And it's going to be a good one. Remember, after this weekend, there's no Grand Prix for 4 weeks just because what's happening over in Saudi Arabia and all that. I hope whoever's over there, troops, whatever, just stay safe. And whatever is happening over there, hopefully it ends very soon. Because nobody wants war. But also with when there's no Grand Prix for 4 weeks after this. So what's your thoughts before we start going on to the main topic? Really it shouldn't be. We should be talking about racing. But what's your overall topic of this weekend? I don't think there's a sprint weekend. I mean, what's your opinion? Not topic. The topic is Formula One, obviously. But what's your opinion on this weekend, going into this weekend regarding Japanese Grand Prix?
We expect Mercedes to be strong, don't we? Japanese Grand Prix, one of my favorite tracks, man. Very technical circuit, so it's gonna have a big wear on the tires because you know how the fast bends, the hairpins. There's a lot of corners, a lot of technical corners. So
Yeah,
tire management is definitely going to be key here. Definitely. There's a little chance of rain we always get as well.
of course.
But yeah, it's going to spice things up and make things interesting. We all know that Mercedes is going into this weekend, you know,
And Ferrari. I think it's going to favour Ferrari a lot as well because of them bends.
team.
You know, the slow the bends. They love the bends, and it.
You might see a closer race. To be honest. But regarding Mercedes, there's been some speculation online and that
Go ahead.
they have an illegal car.
Really?
Because apparently, if you compare Mercedes' front wing to Ferrari's front wing's more closed. If you see Mercedes' front wing, it's more open.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's illegal or not, but there's a lot of questions being raised that it could be illegal. Because, of course, having a more open wing means... Because you have to open your wing anyway.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, even if they're not in the straight zone, their wing is still slightly open.
Yeah.
So that, again, that gives them more speed. So there has been questions on it, whether it's legal or not. We're waiting to see, and find out, but that could be the key to their speed, maybe. But look, that's the question being raised about Mercedes at the moment, because you know how fast their car is, and they're literally blowing everyone out of the water. Even Ferrari, it's like...
I wouldn't say the Ferrari. I think Ferrari's there with them.
No, they're with them, but I'm saying, like, Ante, for an example, starting 7th, and he ended up finishing... No, he didn't start 7th. Russell started more behind, and they can end up finishing like in the top 2. They can end up locking out the front row because they can start, like, say, 8th, for an example, and still finish the top row. So it's like that disadvantage, but that huge advantage they got over people. Maybe it's just great engineering that they've done. Maybe it's not illegal, you know. But we'll wait and find out whether it is. But everyone, the Mercedes is definitely favourites going into this weekend, and of course Ferrari as well. Mercedes and Ferrari probably going to be the two ones battling out for each other this weekend. McLaren, again, reliability issues. Again, Red Bull struggles.
They're done.
It's definitely going to be Mercedes and Ferrari again.
I think McLaren. I think at the beginning of the season, I'm telling you now, I think Ferrari's right there with him. And I think something that Anthony mentioned on Sky a few weeks ago, he thinks the battle at the moment is between Mercedes and Ferrari.
Yeah.
And he thinks that's going to change during the season. And he said it's going to be track dependent. He said certain cars like Ferrari will suit certain tracks. Like, for instance, he used Silverstone and he used Suzuka as an example, that he believes that Ferrari will be strong there because of the bends. When you go to McLaren, no, when you go to Silverstone, how it just bends everywhere like this, like a roller coaster. That's why people that like Silverstone usually like Suzuka. And I think I tend to agree with him that the Ferrari car was small. I'm not saying it's going to be the fastest overall, but I think if Ferrari want to make any dent towards the Mercedes championship run, I think this is a track to do it. Because I think this track, because there's a lot of bends, that's where Ferrari excelled this car at the moment. But I think as we're looking at the season overall now, I know this is only round 3. It's the 3rd race of the season, so it's still early into the season. I believe that between now, I think the 2 favourites are Mercedes and Ferrari. And I think McLaren's not that far behind. I think if there's going to be a 3rd car emerge, I think it will be McLaren. That's just my opinion looking at it now. When you always get a 3rd car, just like back in the day, you had Mercedes and Ferrari, and that 3rd car was Red Bull. I think if there's going to be a 3rd car to join the party, it's going to make McLaren, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. McLaren's always coming up behind. Maybe the only thing they're struggling on is the DNFs, the reliability issues. They've been struggling very, very much with reliability, especially that Oscar Piastri situation in Australia. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri couldn't really finish, so they've been struggling very, very heavily on reliability. But I'm sure that they can sort it out. But they need to get it sorted out if they're going to get any points on the board, because McLaren have been doing terrible so far. But again, it's only early stages still. It's only early stage of the season, so maybe get 7th, 8th race in the season. Then you might see where the packing order is and stuff like that, the way it's going to go. Aston Martin again. Not really excelling, are they?
No.
Vibration issues. They can't even complete a 4 race. Because of course of the nerve damage. Of course, Adrian Newey stepped down, didn't he? And Jonathan Wheatley has joined. So can that make a difference? We don't really know, do we?
I think regarding this season, I don't think Red Bull's going to make any dent. Maybe Max, maybe if he's lucky, he might get in a podium. That's if Ferrari or the 2 Ferraris take each other out. Or maybe there's some sort of clash with the 2 McLaren boys, which they've got history of it. But I think overall, I don't think Max and I don't think the Red Bull's going to make any dent. Regarding Aston Martin, what you just alluded to, I don't think they're going to make any dent. It looks like they're really in trouble. I think they're at the moment, I think they're concentrating on just staying on the track without getting a DNF. Because it seems like when we go to tracks, I think they just toss a coin which car's going to break down first.
Yeah.
And that's not a predicament that you want to be in regarding in F1, the pinnacle of motorsport. You know what I mean? Lance Stroll put a lot of his money in it, and he's got investors. Lance Stroll, not the senior, he's put a lot of money into this. He built a new technical team, technical factory for the technical part. He spent a lot of money on this team and his investors. So when you invest in something, and you spend so much money, you want to see the outcome in it. And there's no outcome at the moment. And The person I feel sorry for is I don't really like to use that terminology all the time because at the end of the day, they're millionaires, and I don't really like to feel sorry for. I'm just using it as that term. When I look at the person I kind of feel sorry for, yeah, but not feel sorry for, if you know what I mean. He's Alonso. Alonso's been waiting for 20 years to win his third world title. Lewis Hamilton's got 8, and Alonso has 2. Alonso just wants 3. You get me? He just wants 3 world titles. So if Aston Martin doesn't make any grounds this year, and it seems like they're going backwards, because that's what it seems like. You remember last season, they actually took a year off, didn't they? They didn't even upgrade the car last season because they was concentrating on this season.
Yeah.
And look at it now. So Alonso, I can't see Alonso waiting around. I think Alonso will sail off into the sunset this season. If Aston Martin don't make any progress this season, especially towards the summer break, I could see Alonso heading off into the sunset. Yeah. And it'd be a shame because he's one of the best drivers I've ever seen. And it's a shame we couldn't get that third world title. You know?
Yeah, true. With this, we just don't know where Aston Martin's going to be this regulation, because they've been absolutely terrible. Coming in, engine vibrations, power unit problems.
Yeah.
Just stuff that we had big hopes for Aston Martin.
Yeah. I still talk.
We had big hopes for Aston Martin coming into this season, and they're not living up to. They're not living up to them. Well, next is practice, innit? So
yeah,
we've got to see where the cars are in practice. Practice 2 and practice 3, where they do the quali sims, innit? So
yeah,
you're gonna see the packing order from you might not even see the packing order into the race, because there's a lot of teams that sandbag. You know, you might see a bit of sandbagging in practice, but you're going to see roughly around where the cars are going to be. It's definitely going to be Mercedes and Ferrari battling. Definitely. I don't really see anyone else.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, that's all really going into this.
Let's get on to let's talk about the elephant in the room, I guess. That's what they call the elephant in the room. And that is Max Verstappen. Now, Max Verstappen hasn't been the happiest chap in the past couple of months. He's been happy when he won that title. Well, he didn't win the title in 2021. They tried to. They robbed Lewis. He was happy when he had people say he had illegal car. That's what that's the rumors. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, Lewis Hamilton, when 2022 season started, when he had the worst car on the grid, probably, I would say. And this is when Russell first joined the team, innit? It was the ground effect area. You had Lewis Hamilton, you had George Russell trotting along in that car. What used to do the bobble? Remember that when he used to bob?
Yeah,
bob and weave, like boxing bob and weave, he was doing that, yeah. And Lewis Hamilton said, look, never complained. He voices his concerns, as you would do when you're going 200 miles per hour and you don't know if the car's going to fall to pieces. You do, you think to yourself, is the car going to last a season? Because he kept bobbing and bobbing. People said he was moaning, but it is what it is. And, the haters are going to do, they're going to moan in it. But Lewis Hamilton was always respectful. He was always respectful. He never went against the media. We know he doesn't like doing a lot of media talks, really, especially before a race. But he still, when he does do his media, he's respectful, isn't he? He's the kind of guy you'd bring home, you'd represent your company, Lewis Hamilton. He talks good, intelligent guy, and he's a nice person. As I see on the screen, he might be different in the back. I don't know, but when you see him on the screen, he's a nice person, isn't he? But the thing about it with Max Verstappen, yeah, the reason why he's moaning, right? The reason why he's giving journalists grief because he's not winning. That's all it is. He's not winning. He's not winning, so he's got to take it out on someone. It's very simple. If he was winning all the races now in this season, if he was winning, if he would have won all 3 races, we've had 3 races this season, Australia, China, so this is the 3rd one, Japanese, this is round 3. If he won these 3 races, yeah, he would not be moaning to the media. He wouldn't be, and you know what he'd be saying? He would be saying, these new regulations are the best regulations. That's what he would be saying right now. He was saying, yes, I've won the first 3 races, and these regulations are absolutely amazing. That's exactly what Max Verstappen would be saying. And because he's not winning, he's throwing his dummies out of the pram. He's bitching, he's moaning, he's whining, because he knows he ain't got the best car. Now, I told you, everybody, yeah? I done told you, Adrian Newey done told you all. The reason why Max Verstappen was winning all them races is because of Adrian Newey. You didn't listen. You actually thought that it was Max Verstappen the reason why he was winning the races. I remember I heard people online saying, you know what? Even if Max had the worst car, he'd still win races. I remember they got that caught up in the Max kind of wave, the Max era, that they actually thought if you stick Max Verstappen in an Aston Martin, this Aston Martin, that he would still win races. You know as a driver, and I know, if you ain't got the best car, you ain't winning anything. The only time that the driver, you know, the skill of a driver kicks in is when you're going wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Everybody's the same on the straight. When you got the fastest car, you're on the straight, you're going to power pass everybody. That's just the way it is. The skill comes in when you're going wheel to wheel. The art of not getting hit. That's the art of driving. If you don't get hit and you can pass somebody but without getting hit, within the rules, within the lines, within the regulations, that makes you the best driver. It's very simple. And I told you, man, they actually said that, Jeremy Clarkson. No, it was Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear when he was at a grid walk. They asked him, "Who do you think is going to win the race?" Right, and he says Adrian Newey. He was referring to Max Verstappen. He said, "Who's going to win? Who's going to do the best at the 2 Red Bull drivers?" He goes, Adrian Newey. Because Adrian Newey designed that car. He designed that car for the ground effect from the ground up. No pun intended. The ground effect. And by the way, Adrian Newey has got a thesis at university in the ground effects. So he was the only one who knew everything about the ground effects. This is why Max Verstappen was winning all these races. And I've been saying it for years, and so has Toto Hammer. No one listened. No one listened. And now we can see it now. And look at him. He's showing his true colors now. Abusing journalists. Saying to journalists, I'm not going to start this press conference here until this journalist walks out of the room. Who the hell do you think you are? How about, you leave the press conference and we got on with it? How about that one? How about Max Verstappen leaves the press conference? Who the hell does he think he is? You don't own Formula One. You're not the world champion. Not anymore, you're not. It's last time I heard it was Lando Norris. You're not the world champion. So why you want to hold at the press conference? If I was in that press conference, I was next to him, I would have said, bro, how about you walk? If you don't want to be here, if you don't like the media guy, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of the media. You know, the media. I'm not the biggest fan of certain medias because certain media's got finger against Lewis Hamilton, you get me? I ain't going to call out their names, but you know who they are. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to be there, walk, get out. Nobody wants you here anyway. Let's just go through exactly what happened on here. Max Verstappen delayed the start of the media session on Thursday due to unhappy about the presence of a Pacific journalist. The Dutch driver made it clear that he would not start his media session with journalists on the ground at Suzuka until one Pacific attendee had appeared at the Red Bull press conference. Max Verstappen halts the Suzuka media session over journalist dispute. What's the Japanese Grand Prix? I know that was just a thing here. So basically, Verstappen was making his usual Thursday media appearances when he headed to the Red Bull hospitality to speak with the journalists. Having completed his broadcast duties with televised crews on hand with Suzuka, sitting down in a scheduled 10-minute session, Verstappen spotted a journalist in the midst and now he spotted a journalist, his face he recognized, looking at him, and immediately said that he would not start the session until the journalist had left. I'm not, and this is what he said, I'm not speaking with him. I will not start this session until this journalist leaves the room. While the journalist initially questioned Max Verstappen was the series, basically last season or the season before, no, it was last season when it was Abu Dhabi last season, and the media guy said to Max Verstappen, do you wish you never crashed into Lando Norris at Spa? I think it was Spa.
It was Russell. It was Russell.
Yeah, Russell at Spa, innit? At Spa. It was at Spa. He crashed into Russell, something like that, yeah, and he lost points. And then all the media guys said, you wish you never crashed into Russell. And ever since then, he kicks off. And because that journalist was asking a normal question, I'm sorry, if you're a journalist, you're not going to ask him what you had to eat today. You're not going to ask him, well, how many hours did you sleep? You're going to ask him racing questions. And I think, as a journalist, I think he asked a credible question.
Fair question, yeah.
It was a credible, fair question. All he said, you wish you didn't crash into Russell at Spa. This was at Abu Dhabi when he knew he didn't win the world title. And he held that to him. He didn't like it. I think his name is the journalist was from The Guardian. I think it's because he's a British journalist. Remember that time when he banned Sky? He banned Sky, as I remember. He didn't want to speak to Sky. So it was at Mexico. It was. He says I won't speak to no Sky journalist at Mexico. That's what he said until he got an apology. You know, I would have said with the apology. You know what I would have said about that apology. So basically, the question, it was last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, straight after Max Verstappen had just missed out on the title by 2 points. The journalist had asked him whether he would regret the controversial moment of contact between himself and George Russell. He was at the Spanish Grand Prix, not Spa, the Spanish Grand Prix. That's what was the clash between him and Russell. At the moment, that cost Max Verstappen points, which would eventually, if he would have got them points, he would have went on to win the world title. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, either way it is. The manner in which the question was asked appeared to annoy Max Verstappen. So basically, he couldn't wait. He didn't like it. So he clapped the guy in Suzuka today. He saw the guy's face and he says, I will not start this press conference while that journalist is in the room. Now, if that was me and I was the media and I was coming, I would say, look, Max Verstappen, yeah, we want to start this press conference. We can't hold up the press conference. And if you do not want to be here, the door's over there. Because there was other drivers there as well. That's not fair on the other drivers. The other drivers have got other commitments as well. They've got to speak to their agent. They've got to speak to other journalists. They've got personal commitments. They don't want to be waiting around. We know that the drivers don't like doing the media. We know they don't like doing it, but they do it because they have to do it. It's part of their contract. So you've got an idiot like Max Verstappen holding up the press conference. You know what I'll do? I'll say, you know what, bro? Leave. You don't want to be here? Leave. And that's it. And I think they made the media guy leave, which I think was out of order. That was out of order.
I reckon that he's being a crybaby about it.
Yeah, he's a bitch, yeah. You know why he's a bitch? Because at the end of the day, yeah, he ain't winning nothing.
He just keep bitching and bitching about it. Like, I looked at it first, I was thinking there's got to be some context around it because you wouldn't say it for no reason, right? So I looked behind it. Then it was about, look, do you regret crashing into Russell? Because if you wouldn't have crashed into Russell, it would have affected him in the championship.
Yeah, right? We don't know that though.
But again, that's Formula One for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it was a fair question. And all he had to say, all he had to do is say, look, looking back in it now, I kind of do. Because that would have last me, and what that could have potentially gave me a bigger chance of winning the championship. That's all he had to say. But you know what? It's still in his mind, isn't it? Because he could have won it. He could have won his so-called 5th championship. Right? He could have won it. But again, it could have. It's Formula One, man. Do you know what I mean? But you holding a grudge for that long is just very, very childish for me. From Max, I think it's out of order. It was a fair question. A year later, He's now holding that grudge against him. He's holding that grudge. And it's not like it's anything proper serious. It's not like he meant anything by it. It was a fair question that he asked. Yeah, he didn't like it. So he's holding a dumb grudge over it, over nothingness. Absolutely nothingness. And now telling him to get out. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was there and I was a journalist, right? My job as a journalist is to collect info, news, report it, stuff like that. And whatever broadcast or from it independent, I want to go report that. I want to go report, the details and everything behind it. But tell him to get out. The guy just doing his job. I think Verstappen should have went out.
Yeah.
That's me. Because who are drivers there to kick out someone who's just doing their job? He probably did. He probably forgot about it. He probably thinking, you know what, I'll go in there, I'll do my job, and stuff like that. But holding a grudge over someone for that long, saying if you,
it's personal.
And I see people on Twitter, good on him, good. What do you mean, good on him? Do you know what I mean? Good on him. What, the guy's just doing his job, asking a fair question.
Dumb TikTok generation.
They're doing it's about time someone sent to the Brit. Why specifically British media? It's not just British media there. There's different other medias as well. Oh, British media. No, the guy's doing his job. He's asking a fair question, and he says, I'm not going to talk. He's just childish. It's just childish. It's not change. That's all. It's not change. That's the really.
He's a stupid, whiny little baby, and he's angry because he has got a crap car. If he was winning races, that guy would have stayed in the media. He's hitting out on everybody. This is what kids doing it when you're a little boy, yeah. When nothing's going right for you, you hit on the nearest person. You get me? You lash out at me. You lash out on the nearest person. If he was winning races, like I said, if he was winning races and he won the first 2 races of the season and he knew he had the fastest car, he would not be whining now. And by the way, nobody cares that you're doing GT racing, bro. Nobody cares. I saw all the stupid Max Verstappen fans on the internet saying, oh, he's great. Look, he's won the race. And in the end, what happened? He didn't win the race because he cheated. Because he used extra tires. So he can't even do it normal in GT racing. So he cheated there as well. He didn't win the race, Everybody thought, oh, yeah, he won the race. And all of a sudden, they found out that they broke the rules. The team broke the rules because he had an extra pair of new tires, which he shouldn't have. So he lost the race as well. So we can't get it right even in GT racing. You get me? He's whining because the limelight's not on him. He's whining because he ain't got the best car. And he's whining that he knows he's nowhere to go. Where does he go? He ain't going to Mercedes. Mercedes are locked down with their drivers. Lewis ain't going there for at least 3 years. Lewis is not leaving Ferrari for at least 3 years. He's got a 2-year contract plus a year extension. That Lewis is starting to do good. He's on the podium now. It's a matter of time before he starts winning races. So where's he going to go? He ain't going to McLaren. McLaren's locked down with them 2 drivers. So where does he go? The only place he can go is where Adrian Newey is. And by the way, Adrian Newey's not even there anymore. He stepped down as a technical director. So there you go. So where's he going to go? The only place he can go is probably Aston Martin. Because I believe that... now Jonathan Wheatley's there. I believe that the next person to walk into that team will be Christian Horner. I'm confident that's going to happen, that Christian Horner will be at Aston Martin. But overall, he's just a whining little baby and he can't take it because he's not winning. And it makes me so... I enjoy when I see these Max Verstappen fans whining and moaning. Because... when Lewis Hamilton got screwed in 2021, and in 2022 he came here, the crap car, you know what they was all saying? They was all saying, Lewis, stop whining. Lewis is just whining and whining and whining. Now I'm turning that energy to you guys as well, because I'll just say the same thing. I'll say the same thing. Stop whining.
Mate, it makes you laugh. Makes you laugh, man. Yeah. The stupid Max fans.
I know.
You know, the stupid good on him. Good on him because of the British media. What? You know what? I'm not going to say nothing.
Anyway, this is streaming also on the Total Hammer channel as well. That's Free Sports. So remember to like it, and I've tagged it up on there as well. All the hashtags are there. That's all I got to say, man. Race weekend start tomorrow. Japanese Grand Prix, total. And who's your top three? Okay, I want to hear your top three for practice. I want to hear your top three for qualifying, and I want to hear your top three for the race. Did you like the thumbnail?
I reckon qualifying.
Nah, practice first.
Qualifying, I think. Practice results.
No, just practice overall. Who do you think is going to be the fastest?
I'm gonna go with Russell. I'm gonna go with Russell first. I'm gonna go with Antonelli second, Lewis third. Now for the overall practice, I think that's what the packing order is gonna be. And the qualifying, I reckon Russell first, Antonelli second, Lewis third.
You're not giving Ferrari a chance.
And then in the race, I reckon Russell first, Lewis second, Antonelli third.
Wow, I think I'm gonna go slightly different on that one. I think the practice is gonna be Ferrari. I think the qualifying, I think Lewis gets pole. He's good here. He actually done good. Like, I watched last year's race. Last year's race at Suzuka, and he done well in that car he had as well. It was quite good here. So I think for the qualifying, I'm gonna go with Lewis, Russell, Antonelli. I think that's qualifying. For the race, I'm going for Lewis, Antonelli, and Charles. Nah. Lewis, Russell, Antonelli for the race.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. I think Lewis is good here. I saw him. I watched the race. It was on yesterday. I watched it on Sky, the repeat, yeah. I watched the race. I just wanted to see what it was like at Suzuka in the car he was in, because that car was crap in it. And he done all right. That was one of his good races he had last year. So I'm going with the Lewis win for the race. And that's it. So Toto, we're heading off. Big up, bro. I know you're doing your stream later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're going to be back on... When are we going to be back now? Because there's not on tomorrow. It's just going to be watch along this weekend now. Yeah. There's going to be no reviews unless something breaks. Something really breaks on the channel. That's it. We're going to be doing watch alongs. So we'll probably do a video tomorrow and maybe our day one. It's going to be Formula One, so there's going to be no videos tomorrow. So it's going to be all watch alongs tomorrow. First Formula One watch along of the season is back tomorrow. What time is the Japanese Grand Prix stuff? Let me have a look. What time does it start? I'm going to have a look now because the timeline, isn't it? The timeline, but I won't be able to do it.
The clocks go back this week.
Yeah, but I want to see the timeline. It's 10 hours. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Nah, timeline's still messed up.
Yeah, I know.
So Friday is going to be, we'll probably do one video tomorrow. If anything breaks on the football, if anything breaks really good news, we'll do a video. If not, no. But no, the time's messed up, innit?
Yeah.
I just want to get it back to normal, man. I just want to we're back to normal soon when Bahrain's cancelled. Saudi's Miami's good. Miami.
There's going to be about 4 weeks off.
4 weeks off. But don't worry, the football season's on, so it's going to be finishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So by the time Miami comes back, it's going to be... Miami's a good time for us. Because when Miami race starts, I think in our time, it's around about 7 o'clock in the night. So it's still good. So, by the time that Figgy comes back, the Grand Prix, it's going to be in May. The 3rd of May. The 3rd of May. So no racing for over 4 weeks.
Because they couldn't just replace the tracks.
Now they knew they had more than enough time. So that's it then.
You could have done a one-off contract with the tracks.
Exactly. Look how many Formula One tracks in the world.
Hockenheim.
They could have done. Yeah, they could have done Turkey. They're going back to Turkey soon, innit? They've announced that they're going back to
in Africa.
India. They're going back there as well. They could have went
South
to
Africa
India
as well.
Yeah, South Africa, Carl Armour. Yeah, I remember that. But it was a Carl Armour onto the GT track, innit?
Yeah.
When we used to play it. By the way, I'm getting my Formula One back on today. I've got my PC up and running. I'm gonna download Steam. I'm gonna set up everything. I will be on my stream. I'm gonna be playing today. So Toto, if you want to do some, we're gonna play a bit of Formula One. I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, I have to go on that track in the Qatar night track. So sweet. We'll play later. Yeah, we'll play later. I'll link you up later. Right? We'll play Formula One. So yeah, man. So that's it, man. We're heading off. See you later, guys. Hopefully Lewis does his thing, and yeah, the race review will be on Sunday. So Sunday, I'm gonna be in bed when it comes on, obviously. But when I get up in the morning, I'll watch the race, and then after I'll do the review for the weekend. That will be on a Sunday. So that's it, man. And no football either. No football, just women's football, which I'll be covering as well. Well, obviously I don't do reviews, I just do the watch logs. So that's it, man. That's it. See you later, Toto. End of the era. End of the era. Until Sunday. There you go. See you later, guys. Stay on the camera. I'm going to talk to you. See you later, guys. Flaming Tarmac, episode 94 in the bag.